Weazel News.
Hey, how you doing today?
Yeah.
Trooper Ripley, right?
Yeah, that's me.
How you doing today?
Great, great. How can I help you? Welcome
Well,
to
I just
Mission
had a
Row.
couple. I was looking for some information, if you don't mind.
Okay, sure. I love providing information to people who come into the PD with 7 cameras. Okay, sure.
Are you familiar with officers denying lawyers for individuals that are having charges pressed against them?
Most certainly not, sir. That would be a violation of department policy.
What else would it be a violation of, sir, other than
Constitutional
policy?
rights.
Absolutely. And what amendment would that be?
I forget. It was one of them important ones, feller.
All right. So are you aware that currently there is somebody in the cells being denied a lawyer?
What? Who?
Do you know that Trooper Ripley Trooper Andrews was tased, denied a lawyer, beaten, and put into handcuffs?
What? Right now, downstairs?
That's right. We witnessed it. It's on tape as well.
Fantastic. Well, I greatly appreciate you, good Samaritans, coming in to report this crime. I will go look into this matter with the utmost vigor immediately to make sure that justice
All right.
is served. Okay,
And when do you think the press is going to be able to know the conclusion of said investigation?
The matter is still unfolding as we speak. It's impossible to know. But as soon as there is any news for you, there's a press room right over there. And
Do you know
we'd be happy to
why
entertain
Andrews
you.
would be denied an attorney?
I can only imagine that there is some reasonable explanation for such an egregious breach of anyone's constitutional rights.
What are your thoughts on 3 officers claiming that they cannot comment on people's rights in Los Santos in fear of losing their job?
Well, I suppose that there must be a culture of fear that is being bred amongst the police department that needs to be squashed out. The people's rights can be protected, sir.
Who do you think might be behind this fear mongering?
Goodness, I can only postulate, sir. But I think the more important thing is that I go downstairs to the cells and make sure this Trooper Andrews' rights are no longer being violated. If you'll excuse me, sir.
Absolutely. One last comment there, Ripley.
Yes, yes.
What are your thoughts on the situation about 2 months ago in which you crashed into an individual and then tried to...
little sleep. I'm gonna go take a nap. Have a good day, sir.
Yep, you take care.
Hello, Sheriff Kyle Pred speaking. I am the, highest ranking PD member that you guys have ever seen, as well as I am also the sheriff of the almighty Blaine County Sheriff's Office, risen like a phoenix from the fucking ashes. All right, I will be, what is this all about? What the fuck do you nerds want to know?
Do you have any statements about recent arrests that were made down at Mission Row PD?
No comment. Next question.
We have a number of witnesses who filmed you tasing Trooper Andrews outside. Any comments in regards to that?
No comment. Next question.
Trooper Andrews.
What's going on in here?
Hey, what's going on?
We're here
Suspended
for you,
Trooper
sir.
Dad?
Hey. Oh, you guys are here for me?
That's right.
Oh, look at all the pretty faces out there. How you guys doing?
Andrews, could you make a statement for us? We really wish to have some of your guidance. We the people, that is.
Of course.
If you look straight in this camera, that would be perfect.
Which one? Let me see. There's so many beautiful faces out there. It's just hard to choose which.
The
you
man in
and the
the
black
purple vest.
cowboy hat.
God damn it.
No one can hear you, you
But I'm
fucking
looking
idiot.
at your camera.
Jesus.
What are
is
these
right here
questions
okay, guy?
about?
Yeah.
What is this conference about?
Where did you want to start, Mr. Chavez?
Well, wherever you would like to start there, Trooper.
Sure. I mean, it's kind of a long story. You guys got some time?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, it started with me helping a cadet, taking them to the hospital after they were viciously beaten on PD property here because there's nobody watching our back. But I found him, took him over to the hospital to get checked up. And I saw an old-time friend, it was you, Mr. Chavez, over there. At the same time that I saw you, I was on the phone with the sheriff here. And I was just warning him about a specific person that was in the cells, and he was very very upset, and he should probably avoid going down there because he might want some sort of favor or something. Mr. Chavez overheard the name.
Sexual.
Mr. Chavez overheard the name that I had uttered, and he was like, "Oh, well, you know, I'm trying to practice law. I used to be a lawyer back in the days. Would you mind if I came down and just provided some assistance? I'm not a lawyer in any way, in any capacity. I just would like to see if I can brush up on my skills." And I was like, well, I have to ask permission of Mr. Pred first. Let me give him a call and ask. So I asked Mr. Pred on the phone if Mr. Chavez could come down and just provide some counseling, not anything, of course, on paper, just some advice. And Kyle Pred immediately got upset and said, "You know what? Arrest Mr. Chavez at once. Arrest him for impersonating a lawyer." I'm like, wait a minute. He didn't impersonate a lawyer. I'm not sure where the impersonation part came down. No, he's not supposed to be doing that. Arrest him at once. I'm like, sir, I'm not going to do that because that's not even, if you read the law, he's not even impersonating a lawyer. And then he hung up on me. So then I told Mr. Chavez, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to go down there. And he was like, well, I'll just go on the ride along and take a tour of the PD. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I can't be responsible for what happens down at the PD. If Mr. Pred decides to arrest you, that's out of my hands. Well, I'm not doing anything, says Mr. Chavez. And I'm like, you're right, but just understand it's out of my hands. And he understood. So I brought him down to the garage. I called Mr. Pred again just to tell him that Mr. Chavez is looking for a tour of the PD. And then he immediately got upset and said I was disobeying his orders and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm not disobeying your orders. We're still in the garage. I'm not doing anything. And he said, show Mr. Chavez out. I'm like, he just wants a tour. No. I'm like, okay, well, I won't show him a tour. At that same time, Miss Brittany Angel was in the garage, and Mr. Chavez asked Miss Brittany Angel for a tour of the PD, in which she agreed. I went to go urinate, and a tour was given to Mr. Chavez. And while I was peeing, long stream, a vicious stream coming out of my lower half, Mr. Kyle angrily calls my phone. I answered the phone. Despite me peeing and having to hold on for dear life with both hands, I still took out my phone. Mr. Pred got upset and said I was undermining him and breaking all these laws and doing all these things. And I was like, Kyle, I didn't do anything. I'm urinating at the moment. Continued to yell at me as I was peeing. It was getting hard for me to squeeze out the rest of the urine in my body. So I cut it off. I don't know if any of you guys have tried to cut off a pee.
He made you cut off your penis?
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit. Oh my God.
Very serious.
The fuck are we talking
How
about?
hard did you have to squeeze?
Cut off my pee. It's pretty hard to cut off a pee strip.
Oh.
So I cut it off. I sprayed my hands with some
Anything like a
Windex
hot
that was in
tub
the bathroom. And then walked into the cell area where Mr. Pred was. And he said, okay, you ready for your punishment? I'm like, my punishment? What did I do? Your punishment is going to be, I'm like, what did I do? Your punishment's going to be, I'm like, sir, can you tell me what I did? Yes, for disobeying your command. And
imagine leaving out the several fucking times I told you what you did.
Right.
Dad,
Let him speak.
mine?
We can have
your
your side of things.
Bit and your shoes are a little untied. Do you need me to
Can
come
I-
down there and help you out?
Can I finish? Or I think you had
You
your
have
time
my
to give your
permission to
interview.
continue. Yeah.
Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah, he couldn't tell me what I did. He just kept trying to give me my punishment. So I stood in the corner. He went into the cell area, asked him again, what did I do? And he's like, well, you're going to go to the Alta Street apartments. And I said, I didn't do anything, and I'm going to go back on duty. And then he's like, you're not going to go back on duty. I'm like, I am going to go back on duty because I didn't do anything. So that went on back and forth of I'm going back on duty. I'm not going back on duty. Then he told me I'm suspended for 24 hours. And I was like, suspended for what? He said, because you're not listening to me and taking your punishment on the chin. I was like, what am I punished for? I didn't do anything. Then that went on for a little bit. I told him I'm going back on duty. I started walking to my car that I purchased myself, and he tased me and put me in handcuffs and said he's placing me under arrest for impersonating a police officer. And I said, but I am a police officer. And he said, you're not a police officer. I'm like, I am a police officer.
Did he provide any papers to you?
No.
What fucking papers am I going to provide to him?
Very
Bald
interesting.
tank top wearing
so, yeah.
idiot.
And then he said, you're not a police officer because you're suspended. And I read him the law. I'm like, nowhere in this law does it say if an SASP or BCSO or LSPD member is suspended, are they no longer a police officer? Then I was like, all right, whatever. I'm under arrest. Let me get my lawyer. No, you're not getting your counsel. I'm like, oh, so you're denying me my counsel. And luckily, Cross, who is a lawyer, overheard this and became my lawyer. Then we started discussing this down in the cells. The cells were a little
Well, now
bit
he would
too
be
loud, so I
technically
requested-
conflicted out of it if he heard this because he would be a witness, so he wouldn't be your representation.
Can I finish?
now.
I don't know why you keep.
Well, I'm just
Keep it-
correcting you because you seem to
There's
not
no
know
correcting
100% what you're talking about.
Did EMS look over you, there, trooper?
No, they didn't. He didn't get me any medical. But you're correcting me on what? I'm telling the story as what I observed and what happened to me.
Little baby pussy trooper.
Okay, and that's what we immediately default to because you can't argue properly. Anyway, back to my story. So I requested to be removed from the cells and taken to the interrogation area so I can meet with my lawyer in a quiet place. I did meet with my lawyer. He barged in while I was speaking to my lawyer. I asked him to leave or to go to a different room, in which I went to a different room without him present. And then I was ready for him to come. So he barges in and says, "Have a seat, Dad." And I said, I'm fine. What are my charges? "Have a seat, Dad." He repeated, "Have a seat, Dad," 83 times, I believe. 84. I might have miscounted. And then my lawyer butted in and asked, "What is the charges, Kyle?" He asked my lawyer to step out. It was a little bit muffled from outside of the door, but it sounded something like,
Get the fuck out of here, Chris. If you want to go to LSPD, redheaded bitch, get out of here.
and then Cross came in and said
Sounded
he's no
way
longer
better
my
quality
lawyer
than that.
and that he is quitting the PD.
Wow.
Yep.
Do you
what
believe
happened?
your rights were violated anytime during this particular incident?
100%, multiple times.
Do you think any evidence may have been fabricated during the process?
What the
Sure.
fuck are we talking about now? An
What-
officer failed to accept their punishment. They were explained. Listen, I'll tell you guys right here, okay?
Am I the one being
Trooper
interviewed?
Tony
or-
Andrews, I'm going to explain because we're strapped for time. Trooper Tony Andrews was called me and said, "I'm going to bring Mr. Nino Chavez down there to represent Mr. Dean Watson." I asked the simple question, does Mr. Chavez have a state bar license? No, but I'm going to bring him down anyway. Dad, that is illegal. You're going to get this man a charge, and you're going to get a charge for it as well, because what you're trying
Mr.
to
Chavez,
do here
you were present.
is
Did it sound
illegal.
like I said
He
that?
never said anything along those lines. In
That's
fact,
not what he told me
he
on the phone.
was. Well, I
Listen,
was
that's
standing
not what he
next to him
told me
during
on
the
the
phone
phone.
to me.
Well, I mean, listen, like I'm going to listen to a fucking felon like you, all right? I know what was said, unfortunately. I don't believe that the two of you do.
Did
what
you
happened was,
tase Trooper Andrews?
I'm explaining something.
Well, I'm just
so,
just a simple question.
Listen,
Yes or
you,
no?
all right, look, well, do you want to leave or do you want to stay? Which one is it?
Are you
So if you want to stay,
denying
you
the
can
press?
shut the fuck up, which, yeah, I will deny the press. Fuck you and your press. Fuck all you
Oh my
camera-holding
God.
Whoa.
nerds.
Take
All right,
that
that's what I
back.
think of the press.
Jesus
Fuck
Christ.
you, fuck you,
What
fuck
the hell?
you, fuck you, fuck all you camera-holding pieces of shit. All right. What happened was my dad tried to tamper with a police investigation. He was ordered not to do so. He disobeyed a direct order. He was offered a kind of weak punishment.
Brett, are you making up
He
laws
told
as
me,
you go?
All right. What laws am I making up? Well, here, I'll let you
Well,
allow you to answer that question. What law?
freedom of the press there.
What does
sir.
that have to do with what I'm saying right now?
Well, I mean, you started with
What the fuck does that have to
ignorant
do with what
statements,
I'm
so I'm
saying?
just kind of assuming the rest of the statements.
Mr. Chavez,
Make
I
it
keep
equally-
asking
all right,
how
I
about-
I
listen, how about we shut the fuck
impeded
up?
in a police investigation.
You did attempt to impede in a police investigation and tamper with
How
it.
so?
All right.
How so?
How so? And then you disobeyed the direct orders of a superior.
How did
Is
I?
was
that
given
illegal?
to you several times.
How
is
did
that
I impede
illegal?
on a police investigation?
What do you mean, is that illegal?
I've asked you that like 8,000 times today, and you have failed to tell me that.
I told you exactly.
No,
you basically
haven't.
tried
That's
to
why I keep
sneak
asking.
somebody into the cells
I
that
didn't
didn't
sneak
have a bar
anybody. I didn't
license to
try to
be
sneak
legal
anybody.
representation.
For the record,
That's what I was
Trooper
told by you
Andrews
directly.
explained multiple times that he would be
Jesus
I
Christ,
would be
it's like a
coming
room
as an
full of fucking
advisor.
idiots. Jesus Christ. All right. He got punished by the PD. He said, "I'm not being punished." He walked away like a pussy, and then I escalated it to a suspension on him. All right.
No, you assaulted
That's what
me,
happened.
and then you kidnapped me.
Dad, you are such a pussy. Holy shit. I can see those big flapping lips from here between your fucking legs.
Do you believe the arrest
My
that was made of
lips.
Trooper Andrews may be due to pent-up rage about
What
your
arrest?
upbringing by
What
your dad?
arrest?
You told me I was
Jesus
under
Christ,
arrest.
it's like a
for
room full of
impersonating
dumb
a police
fucks. I've
officer.
never-
Pred, with
It's like a
all
jelly
due
bean
respect,
bag, but it's all
the
fucking
moment
black
you put him
licorice.
into
The worst
cuffs
flavor.
and move him to Mission Row PD, that is an arrest in which the individual must be explained what it is that they're being arrested for. So when you say what
Why
arrest,
the fuck do you care, Mr. Chavez? Are all your friends criminals? Why the fuck do you care about my dad?
do you believe that the rights of citizens should be thrown out of the window?
Jesus Christ, I'm getting
despite-
out of here. All right, this is the dumbest fucking thing. Look, this press
We're
conference.
just asking questions.
It would have
Pred.
been led great, but Jesus Christ, all you fucking people are so goddamn stupid. This is a PD punishment. Why am I doing a fucking thing for a PD punishment? Because I tased a guy. This guy beat the shit out
have
of
any
me several
comments?
times my entire
You
life.
arrested me. You
There's
said
a
you were
cadet-
under arrest.
We also
Dad,
have
you really
on
are
the
a grade
record.
A fucking pussy. All right.
There's a
You
cadet
know what, Dad?
outside that's
If you
fearing
want to
for
set
her
the
life,
standard by doing whatever you
fearing
want,
that
not
she is
accepting
gonna
any
be
punishments,
attacked if she
and
does
be a
not follow
coward,
your orders,
go
sir.
for it. But I'm really disappointed in you. You should know better.
I should know better.
You should know
Son,
better,
you've been doing
Dad.
this- You've been doing dumb shit your entire career here, so I don't know what you were talking about.
Like what? I accept my punishments like a man.
Really?
100%.
Okay, Kyle.